Kunter soul, now we are far away, I feel confident when I am away from the old man. Young Inca, aging is the course of our humanity. In some, their bad traits increase exponentially to madness. Perhaps it is better for the old to lose their minds, so as not to use their malefic tendencies and make the lives of the young unbearable. In our times, the people are weary of older statesmen, and they are choosing younger leaders. We also have great old minds who are the conscience of the world, and our books are replete with their accomplishments. Thus, one must always fear old age and not death. Without any incidents, Tupac continued to Tumabamba, where he fought the Canaris. Unable to subdue them, he followed them farther north. The four brothers took Quito, which became the center of the empire in the north. In his return to Tumabamba, his first son, Huayna Capac, was born. Some time after, Tupac Yupanc crossed to Puna, an island of water warriors. They formed an alliance with the Incas to conquer Tums, the last outpost of the Queimas in the north. Kunter soul, the people of Puna have heard that far into the oceans there are strange islands. I intend to go to them, before we battle against the Tumbesinos. Young Inca, if Pachacútec is still alive, he is going to make someone culpable for your extended adventures. Man of the future, I have lived so little time in Cuzco that I belong to these temperate areas more than the frigid Andes. I will go and find out if in those islands Inti keeps its bed. If so, there must be gold. If I don't go now, I never will. Being young is the catalyst for intrepidness, and you, as an old man, should know that. Apo Yupanc, while I am away, you will stay in Puna to prepare an army to cross to Tums. If I don't come back in 1 year, let the coastal people believe that I am still alive by celebrating fiestas in my name. 9 months later, as Pachacútec's old bones rattled on the hard floor of his soiled bed, he found out of his son's extended expedition. Oh! Someone is going to pay, whether he returns or not, for letting my son go on this venture. Pachacútec sent emissaries with menacing threats. Apo Yupanc, why are you having these celebrations? You seem to be rejoicing that Tupac may not come back. Stop these festivities. Pachacútec is not happy with you for allowing you brother to go on this mad expedition. Emissary of Cuzco, can't you see that I am commemorating the fact that Tupac is alive? If I don't, the coastal people are going to think that I am mourning his death. In these lands, they need to know that we are in command. I see the purpose of your fiestas, but I don't know if the old man will understand. The celebrations continued. One day, far on the yonder of the blue oceans, an armada of balsas could be seen. With the glare of the sun, Tupac's yellow headband was barely visible. As his craft approached, he was holding a skeletal jaw of a large animal. Kunter soul, I will never forget the beauty of those islands. But they are not suitable to be inhabited. Inca, that is why those islands have been preserved as it was, if the Galapagos is where you went. I am glad that these islands have been preserved in your times, as I found it in my days. For now I have to go to the Queimas, not to confront them, but to learn from their advances. Unfortunately, I have heard that some prefer men for their pleasure, and that I am going to eliminate. Tupac, that anomaly is part of our humanity. We are created by a God, who has a purpose in everything he does. You are going to be ostracized for those comments. Speaking for the rights of others is not a luxury, it is an uphill battle and Quixotes do not abound. Are you confabulating? Who is that Quixote? Tupac, in the world of writers he exposed the most sublime nature of the human spirit, chivalry. A great Spaniard who jokingly exposed the sickness in our souls, but he was serious in what he was saying. There is so much to be proud of Spain, our mother country, but I would rather call her our stepmother. For mother of the Indians, that she never was. Man of the future, you seem to accept what you hate and detest what you care for the most. That is what history has done to me. Tell me more about the Queimas, but not of their idiosyncrasies. The Queimas are to the coast what the Incas are to the Sierras. Their territory extends from Tums to Ancash, roughly a third of the present Peruvian coast. We need to be united with them, if we are to become an empire. Minchicaman, the last of the Chimu lords, has a great enemy, Quismenco, in the south of Lima. He wants to conquer his lands, because he has allied with Pachacútec. As a great strategist, you are going to confront them at the precise moment of their discords? Yes, and there is nothing like fighting two nations in conflict, because they are condemned to lose for not joining their forces to fight a common enemy. Tupac, the same thing happened to the Incas, who were fighting among themselves when the foreigners came. As you can see, history repeats itself, and we never seem to learn from our mistakes. Apo Yupank and Tilka Yupank, you two crossed the ocean to Tums. Once taken, continue to Chimu by land. Topa Capac and I will descend from the Sierras to the coast and take the great city of Chan Chan. Meanwhile, Pachacútec had joined with Quismenco, and the three factions probably closed in on Minchicaman, because no one tells us how the great kingdom of Chimer was conquered. The coastal people were too valuable for the Incas, and probably there was no bloodshed. Minchicaman, you were defeated but not vanquished. Our intent is to form a great empire that will cover the coast, the Andes, and the jungles. I offer you one of my sisters, and we will be united by blood. Great Pachacútec. Tupac Yupank is returning. Amaro, when he arrives both of us will enter Cuzco, if my strength allows me. Father Pachacútec. You cannot even walk, you are trembling. Never mind my aging body, I am still in control of my mind. You have been gone longer than the 4 years that I had allotted you for this campaign. Yes, Father, but you cannot argue against my success. I know of your victories, but I have to carry out something that I have promised to do. Tilka and Apo Yupank. You have disobeyed my orders. You have taken longer than I expected for this expedition. Sapa Inca. We tried to dissuade Tupac from voyaging on unknown oceans, but he didn't listen. There was nothing we could have done. Perhaps, but both of you don't deserve to enter Cuzco. Only your heads will. Father. My brothers are loyal to you and to me. I am not going to allow you to do that. Listen. You are just a prince. I am still the Sapa Inca and I will proceed as I see fit. I hope our confused history is wrong about the veracity of this event. What is certain is that someone was killed in this account. That is the way Pachacútec must have been. For no one builds an empire, unless violence is used. Tupac Yupank, in the more than 4 years that you have been gone, we have had famines and intrigues. I want you to take the crown, while I am still alive. I have so many sons, and their mothers would like to crown one of their own. Tupac married his sister, so as not to leave any doubt as who was going to be the new Sapa Inca. After 33 years of rule, Pachacútec descended from the throne, aided by his sons.